Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's status report video. To start us off, we will be talking about the Icarus bus and some early animations which were revealed this week. Now, this was announced that this bus will be coming into DayZ Standalone in a previous status report, and this week we finally have some animations. As you can see here, we have a first-person animation and a third-person animation, gifts that were released by the developers, and I cannot wait to drive one of these around Trinaris. There was also something said about vehicles in general and some changes that will be coming to vehicles in DayZ Standalone. So one of the first ones is that vehicles can be found in different states, and what that means is that you might find a vehicle that needs spark plugs and it will be good to go, or you might find a vehicle that's completely stripped of everything but does have one wheel on, which you actually need for your vehicle. They did also add that without spark plugs or a battery, you will not be able to start an engine on a vehicle. So it's still possible to find a vehicle that has these, but you also might find a vehicle that doesn't, and you will have to go and search for these. It was also said that wheels can be detached or destroyed while on a vehicle, so something like this would make the vehicle, as they said right there, lean to maybe one side where the wheel is missing, and also the handling of this vehicle would be affected. But it can be fixed if you manage to find a spare wheel and mount it back on the wheel hub, and you will get control of the vehicle back on track. So there are optional parts as well. These parts are detachable, and you can also, for example, let's say take a door from another vehicle or a hood from another vehicle and add it to yours. These won't change the vehicle behavior, of course, but they will add a visual variety, so your vehicle will not look the same as someone else's. The goal behind all of this is to also make your vehicle special to you, so you're not just using a vehicle to travel from one city to another, but hopefully this vehicle that you do find, you will have and you will be using to travel around Trinaris for a couple of days at least, and it will be special. It will look different because of the things you have detached and attached to the vehicle from other vehicles around the map. A large part of this week's status report was talking about the central loot economy and what it is exactly. They did share a lot of important information about it and kind of explain the system and also where this will be headed in the next few months. So what will the central loot economy do? Well, basically it will allow the developers to have more control over what items spawn, and this means that the dev team can rapidly and without requiring an update to the game completely change/update the amount of items that spawn. They did also say that this is done on a both global and per server level, so in the future it will allow custom server operators find control over their server and its item spawn quantities without requiring any base modification to the game. So basically allowing a server operator to have control over how much loot will be spawning without having to add any modifications to the game. The central loot economy also allows for control over items' lifetime, how many of each item is supposed to be present in the world, and over item cost, so the rarity of the item, which we will be getting into here in the next slide. And that gets us into map flow and how the rarity of certain items will drive players to take a certain path around the map. So basically it creates a flow of the map and a path that players will be taking if they want to get those rare items. So this is not a final version of the zones around the map, but let's take a closer look and see what these zones are exactly. So we have zone number 1, and that is where you spawn. That's all of the player spawns all the way from Savat down to Cherno, and then you'll be heading into zone 2. That's where you'll find a little bit more of the items that are just a little rare. Zone 3 is basically the Starry, Novi, and Vibor area, and then zone 4 is basically northwest, and that is where I am assuming you'll be finding the most rare items, but it will be a little bit dangerous there, as you know, this map flow is just pushing everyone to that area. So this is going to be cool to see, and hopefully we'll create that map flow that was in the DayZ mod. And to wrap this up, we will be talking about 0.57 stable and the central loot economy on there. So basically loot persistence which is the saving of spawned and dropped loot, as well as stance, will be disabled on 0.57 stable as the programming team continues to work on solving issues with it, with item cleanup, and also solving the issue of loot not being spread around the map evenly. So the loot explosions that we've seen on servers in 0.55, that is what they're currently trying to fix with persistence. They did also say that this means that when servers restart, fresh loot will be respawned to ensure an enjoyable experience on the stable branch. But with that said, some persistence will not be affected, so vehicle persistence will still be on, and server time persistence, which is saving the server time on restart, will be on as well. But that's gonna do it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that like to show your support, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.